To make this, I'll be using 2.5 yards of chiffon. You can use crepe or satin. So I'll be cutting out 1 yard, and that 1 yard will be for the sleeve, and the rest I will use it for the dress, for the top, the cowl neck top. So I'm going to take away the 1 yard, and I'm going to fold this one. I'm going to fold it into triangle. You can see this is a selvage, so I will fold it into triangle to make a bias there. So I'm going to start taking my measurements. I'll bring this down to get my shoulder width, the shoulder width divided by 2, and that is what I have here. So from here I'm going to go down to my armhole length, 8 inches. That is because I've added sewing allowance to that. So next I will go ahead and make these lines visible, and I will square down the shoulder width down here. The shoulder is 8 inches, remember, so I'm going to drop it down here, and I'm going to make the neck width 3 inches, and I'm going to bring down 1.5 for sloping and connect this line. This is not my final length for the neck, so I'll come in the final length, which is 4.5 inches. I'll mark it there, and on the neck depth for the back I'll come in 1 inch, and I'll connect this new neckline. So I'm going to take the length of the top. I want the top to be 25 inches, so I added 1 inch for sewing allowance, which will make it 26, and that is what I am marking there. So you just go ahead and mark that length all around. Next, on this armhole length, I'm going to divide the bust into 4. Whatever I get, I will put it here. In my own case, it's 10.5 inches, and I connected it down there. And next, I made the armhole curve. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. Now, after cutting this out, I'll be using this back to make the front. So you can use this for the facing if you want to, or you can use bias to, tape the mouth. So I have folded the remaining fabric into triangle form to make a bias again. I'm going to place the back pattern on top of this fabric, and I'm going to, for the neck, cowl neck, I'm going to shift this like this and make sure I get at least 7 to 8 inches. What I have here is 8 inches. I'm going to fold this in like this, as you can see me do. Just make sure that the shoulder is hitting where the bending, where I started folding from. Next, I'm going to cut out this, but I'm just going to cut out from the shoulder width. Can you guys see where I'm cutting out? You cut that out and cut out the armhole. So I'm going to cut all around, and you see what I have. Don't cut the neckline of the front, because that's the cowl neckline. So it's just from the shoulder I cut it. Now it is ready. I will show you how you're going to sew it. So you're just going to open this. See, if I open it, you see the cowl neckline. So this opening I have here, that's where I'm going to put the back into and cover it with the flap that I left. So I'm going to sew it here. I'll take you to the machine and show you how to sew this. I've gone ahead and made facing for the back. I interfaced it already, so I will sew it there. So I'll go to the machine and sew this. But first of all, let's cut the sleeve. So the remaining fabric, I folded it into 2, and I'm going to also fold it in a triangle form again. So you bend it like this. This time around is not a full bias, it's just a half bias. So I got a straight line that I'm going to work with. I'm going to take down 3 inches from there and get the round sleeve measurement divided by 3, and I'm going to connect it to get the sleeve head like this. Next, I'm going to get the length of the sleeve. Just take it round like that and cut it out. So I'll take you to the machine now and show you how to sew this. So first of all, I'm going to sew the neckline, the back neckline. I'm going to sew the facing. So you just go ahead and hem the facing. So after sewing it, you're going to go ahead and notch the neckline so that it will relax very well. And then after notching it, you go ahead and understitch the facing. Next, you're going to go ahead and add and turn the neckline. So just put the shoulder of the back to the space that we have made here, and you're going to use the facing of the front and cover it and stitch it like so. You go ahead and do the same thing to the other side of the sleeve, other side of the shoulder. So again, I'm going to put the back into the space I've made and covered it with the facing of the front, and I'm going to sew it there. Next, after sewing this, I'm going to go ahead, make sure you overlock these things. So next, I'm going to join the sleeve. I just place the sleeve on the front, on the bodies, and sew it like that. You're going to go ahead and overlock all these things before you continue. So next, I'm going to join the side seam. So go ahead and join the side seam. And then for the sleeve, you're going to go ahead and sew the casing for the elastic. So I've already overlocked my sleeve. I'm just going to sew a top stitch on the place that I have overlocked for me to get the boning, the elastic casing that I'm making. So you just go ahead and leave space where you're going to pass the elastic from. I'm just going to do all of this off camera and show you guys the final look.
So many times that I miss you.